What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So I've just uploaded my video talking about all of the new stuff that's coming after the maintenance period for version 11. There's lots of stuff to look forward to. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly advise to go and check out that video. But today we're here to talk about the Sugo Fest that's going to be debuting straight after that maintenance period for version 11, and that is the BONNEY Sugo Fest. This unit is crazy. We'll be going through all of the characters in this video today, but first of all, let's quickly touch up on what the steps are for this Sugo Fest. And of course, it goes without saying, you should not be pulling on this banner. This banner is actually terrible. This might be one of the worst debut banners that we have had in a very long time, and I'm not even kidding, right? So it starts after the maintenance until September 29th. It's here for a very long time. So, you know, if you do for some reason want to pull on this banner, which I advise not to, you can do it for a very long time, okay? Part 1 after the maintenance until the 29th, then part 2 is on the 27th, part 3 on the 29th. I'm not going to go through what legends are boosted on each part. We're not going to be doing that in this video. I don't care about that because I'm just saying don't pull on this banner. I'm not even going to give you what's boosted because, I mean, check it in game if you want to see it, because you just don't touch this banner. This banner is bad. I will be doing a couple multis though. I'm pulling so you guys don't have to, but I'm saying, like, everyone should be avoiding this banner at all costs. It's not that good, right? 30 gem for the first multi, but then have a look at this, right? 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21st, 22nd, 23, 25, 26, 27th, 29th multi. All of those multis are guaranteed to be either a rare recruit or a legend. Well, it says rare recruit or a legend. I'm pretty sure it's a rate boosted rare recruit or a legend. No. If Global starts going down this pathway of this Sugo Fest, people are going to be upset. This is a terrible banner. Really bad. 3, 6, 13, 16, 24, 28. Guaranteed to be a legend, okay? 7th multi is a recommended unit, which is good. The 10th and the 20th is a limited pool legend, and the 30th multi is guaranteed to be BONNEY. I'm not doing 30 multis on this stupid banner. I think I'm going to be doing 3 multis, because one thing you notice, there's no 1 gem multis at all. Myself personally, I'm going to be doing 3 multi pulls, and that is it. Absolutely no way am I doing 4, 5, 6, anyway past that. No way. I'm doing 3. We're moving on, okay? Let's move on to what the actual breakdown of this batch is like. So shout out to the database once again for all of this information. Let's start things off with X Drake. X Drake is an int slasher powerhouse character. Pretty cool artwork actually. And his captain effect is 3 times attack to slasher, 1.2 health, pretty bad. He can't be blown away, that's interesting. And 10 turn cooldown after limit break, reduces paralysis, burn, and blindness by 3. Okay, and then boost color affinity of all characters by 1.75 for 1 turn. Yikes. This is not that good. I mean, if this was 5 turn removal, I would like it a bit better. For a rare recruit in 2021, I don't know about this one, man. This is actually, like, pretty bad. Honestly, this might be, like, one of the most lame rare recruits we've seen this year. From a regular, like, new debut batch, it's pretty underwhelming, I must say. 3 turn removal and 1.75 affinity? Yeah, this is, like, not good. This is really not that good. X Drake, I'm disappointed in you, buddy. I am super disappointed.
Hello.
You know what? You know what I said about you, X Drake? You know, we might have to take that back a little bit because he does have double special activation, okay? That definitely saves this unit. Damn, that makes him a lot better. Okay, so paralysis, burn, blindness by 6. And then, or you can make the affinity last for, you know, 2 different stages. I like that. Okay, you know what, X Drake, you're actually not as bad as what we thought, okay? Forget everything that I just said. Support is pretty bad. In PvP, guard up, attack up to int, and 25 CT. Yeah, he's pretty bad in PvP. You don't want to use this guy in PvP. But in regular content, you know what? X Drake, if I'm rating him out of 10, 10 being the best character in the game, 1 being like absolute garbage tier, he's probably like a 7, I would say. Yeah, probably a 7, because like burn and blindness aren't super common. Paralysis, I would say, is a common debuff, so that's good, but burn and blindness, not so much. And you know, affinity rainbow is okay. He's just an okay rare recruit. The next rare recruit here is Basil Hawkins, who is an int cerebral slasher, also a slasher like the last rare recruit. His captain ability is a cerebral 3x, 1.2 health, and he makes psi recovery in 10 and beneficial for himself. Special on a 12 turn cooldown, reduces despair and attack down by 5, and then reduces threshold by 3. Oh, why? Why does he only remove threshold by 3? He surely doesn't have double special activation like X-Drake. That's pretty bad. I mean, like, this is fine. I mean, Despair and Attack Down, I would say, are common debuffs. Threshold is good that he removes it, but only by 3? Like, come on, bro. What's the difference? Like, just add an extra 2 turns onto that. That'd be so much better. And then he says if there is more than 10,000 excess healing done before you launch his special, he gives all characters a 2x orb boost for 1 turn. Otherwise, it's still a 1.75. Yeah, this guy's pretty good. I would say this guy's going to see a little bit of play. Dude, I really wish there was 5 turns of threshold removal. That would be nuts. But not too bad. Honestly, not bad at all, I would say. What does he get? He gets slot bind reduction and recovery bind. His support's pretty bad. And he will go ahead and give guard up and defense up. And also provoke. And level 5 guard up, 10% health cut. Okay, that's pretty bad. Yeah, this guy's another character you're not using in PvP. I actually like X-Drake a lot better, to be honest. I think X-Drake might see a little bit more play. But then again, like, this guy does give you Despair and Attack Down removal. And he gives you an orb boost. And then, you know, only 3 turns of threshold removal isn't great, but it's still threshold removal nonetheless. And you still get an orb boost no matter what. It's a slightly better one if you get the healing. Okay, you know, he's not bad either. I'd say he's probably like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10, I would probably rate. He's pretty decent, I guess. Like, not a game-breaking rare recruit by any means, but, like, I could see where you would probably use him. Not bad. And the last of these rare recruits is Apu, which, unlike all of the other characters in this batch, he decides to be a Dex unit. He's a Dex shooter free spirit, and his captain effect is a shooter 3x 1.2 recovery. Boost amount healed from recovery slots by 300, and 13 turn cooldown, recovers 10 times his recovery in HP for 3 turns. Interesting. He makes all type slots beneficial to all characters for 3 turns. Okay, that's pretty awesome. And then reduces bind by 5, and then reduces rainbow shield by 5. That's really good. And if there's more than 15,000 excess healing done, you will increase the duration of any attack buffs by 1 turn. Okay, I think Apu is pretty interesting. I mean, like, his utility that he has is actually really good. At least it's 5 turn reduction. That's very good. A little bit of healing is interesting. Probably not overly required, but I guess if you can use him multiple times per run, you can get good overhealing to potentially reach this threshold to get this. Unless you're running another healer on your team, of course. But the beneficial slots to all characters for 3 turns, that's good. I could definitely see a situation where you need to, you know, get a beneficial orb buff to carry it over multiple rooms. And then potentially when you activate it on a mini boss stage, you have to get rid of bind and a rainbow shield as well. Like, this is definitely a unit that has potential to see play. I definitely think this unit is actually pretty solid. He will have barrier penetration, love that, and he also has recovery bind and a pretty bad support, and he will go ahead and give a level 5 attack buff to Dex Psi and Int. That's very weird for this unit. And then level 3 HP buff to Dex Psi and Int. Actually not a terrible passive. And then his special 1.5 attack and a large radial range, level 3 speed down. You know, if you don't have a lot of good PvP units and you're running like a Dex team, like a Dex defense team, unit might not be an awful choice, but there's definitely better Dex units to use on a team. I think Apu's also around like an 8 out of 10. I think he's pretty solid. None of these rare recruits in this batch are like absolutely game-breaking, game-changing, meta-defining units. They're just overly okay, just pretty mediocre or just above average, I would say. Nothing crazy. But then we move on to BONNEY. Now, BONNEY is actually crazy. You know, all the rare recruits, they weren't anything special, but this is a special unit. So BONNEY is an int free spirit fighter, good classes, and of course another int unit, and she is a super type, by the way, so another int super type added to the list. And her captain ability, it's not very long, but boost the attack of int characters by 5 times if they have a recovery slot, 4.5 times otherwise. But then she also will still boost the attack of all other characters by 3.75, which is respectable, and then makes recovery slots beneficial to all characters. And characters who attack with type advantage will get a recovery slot after they finish attacking. Pretty good. I love that. It's kind of reminiscent of Luffy and Zoro, that dual unit back in the day, where if you attacked with type advantage, you would get given a Wano slot in that following turn. This is awesome, the fact that, you know, you're generating so many recovery slots. They're beneficial to your whole team as well, and if you do get those recovery slots and you get that 5 times boost, though remember, that is only for int characters, so you have to attack with type advantage, which means you have to go ahead and, you know, run against bosses that are predominantly Psi characters, which is not going to happen all the time, but if you do get that type advantage, you do get the recovery slot. But it does also say that, you know, she does boost all other characters, so you can still have like a strength unit on your team, and if you're attacking a dex enemy, that strength unit still gets a recovery slot in the following turn. However, one thing to note is that she doesn't have any damage reduction, she doesn't have any health boost, so she is a relatively squishy captain, but the fact that she's generating so many recovery slots is a good thing. I do like that about this unit. Now, as for her sailor effects, they're insane. So it reduces her own cooldown by 10 turns when it's reversed, and then also reduces special bind by 10 turns. All of that in one sailor effect is bonkers, and then also makes recovery slots beneficial to all characters on the team. As a crewmate, these are phenomenal to have. And then having a look at her special ability, right? Reduces slot bind and special bind duration by 10 turns. That's already really nice. There haven't been too many special abilities that just reduce slot bind. I can't even think of one off the top of my head. But then she does that and special bind. And remember, she does resist special bind by 10 turns, which is great. Reduces the cooldown of all characters by 1 turn, which she also resists special reverse. And then also reduces the defense of all enemies by 100% for 1 turn. She changes empty block and badly matching slots into recovery, and then boosts the attack of int characters by 2.5 times for 1 turn, and then locks the chain multiplier for 1 turn, depending on how many recovery slots have been used in your normal attacks. So it's a guaranteed 3x chain lock, but you can get up to a 3.5 times chain lock. So just imagine this in one special ability, right? Slot bind and special bind removal, cooldown reduction, plus you resist the reverse to give you just cooldown reduction when you need it, defense reduction, empty block badly matching into recovery, which she treats as beneficial. She also is an attack booster, 2.5 to her color, and a chain locker to your whole team. Like this is like such a crazy special ability, man. She's gonna be an amazing crewmate on so many teams. I think her captain ability is respectable and it's okay. It's acceptable, but I don't know if it's a captain effect that I would use a lot of the time. I think there's probably a couple of other characters that are int that I would prefer to use as the captain, but it's a captain effect that you can use. If you're up against mono psi content, this is a captain ability that you'd probably want to have. Outside of that, I don't really know too many situations where where I actually want to use this effect, right? But this special, oh man, it's so good. And people say, oh yeah, but she only boosts the attack of int characters, so she's only really got int teams, which is completely incorrect. You can still use any other attack booster before that, and then like this is whatever, or you know, you could just use other boosts outside of attack boost. There's so many different boosts you can use these days. Conditional boost, you can use Kaido's increased damage taken, you can use orb boost, color affinity. Like there's so many different other ways to get attack boost, so even if you're running a team that isn't int, you can still get huge benefits from this with amazing utility, orb change, and the chain lock, despite the fact that, you know, it's still an int attack booster, right? So this is still a really, really good special ability, right? But then we have to talk about her super type. So her super type obviously only works if she is the captain, and in order to use it, you need to have one of these supernovas on your team. So a little bit of a restriction there, but it changes all orbs into recovery orbs, and then reduces Sailor Despair duration by 3 turns. So fear resistance, or fear buff. She reduces fear by 3 turns, and then reduces her own cooldown by 1 turn, and transforms all int characters into super int. This is an amazing super type, because I mean, generating a full board of slots, remember her special does give you the ability to get rid of block orbs, so no matter what, you are getting a full board of recovery slots. Removing Sailor Despair is pretty awesome as a super type, and then this is really cool too. Now, it doesn't reduce the whole crew's cooldown, but at least it reduces her own cooldown, because it means if you are special reversed as a captain, you can use her super type to reduce the cooldown, and then you can use her special ability to then reduce the cooldown of your characters for your whole team. So no matter what, when you use this special ability, you can get around 1 turn of special reverse for your whole team and give you a full board of guaranteed matching slots. That is pretty freaking cool. This unit is super strong. Let's go ahead and have a look at her potential abilities, because she has hunger. She has hunger duration, 3 stacks of hunger removed. She also has fear resistance by 5, and she has the reduced healing duration, which is like the green bubbles. If you guys remember Clash Big Mom, that particular raid was the first raid that introduced that debuff, so any healing that you get is reduced by a certain percentage from any mechanic whatsoever, and this just reduces that debuff by 5 turns. We don't have tablets for this. These are very hard to come by, and these are very hard to come by. So even if you do pull this unit is incredibly difficult to rainbow, but if you do rainbow this unit, it's going to be an incredibly valuable asset to your account for sure. And then her support effect attaching to any of the supernova, saying that when you reach the final stage, it will give that character a recovery slot. It reduces special bind by 2 turns and makes recovery slots beneficial to all characters. Now, I believe this reducing special bind is for the whole team, so that's pretty nuts. Just on the final stage, if you're inflicted with special bind, it just removes it by 2 turns. Like, this is one of those supports you would really love to have. Luffy getting another really good support, Zora getting a great support, Law getting a good support, Kid getting a good support, like all of these units just benefiting from this amazing effect is very, very useful. In PvP, she resists action bind completely, and she gives level 5 attack to int, level 3 defense down to all enemies, and her special is level 4 attack down to all enemies in a large range, level 4 attack buff to int, and removes 25% of special CT to 2 enemies that are 80% or above. That's a pretty unique effect, more of a debuffer. Probably if you're running a defensive style int team, you would probably want to have something like this on there, with some of the other really good int characters, like you could potentially use Moria, even though Moria is like driven and powerhouse related, but we know int's really good. You could use super type Blackbeard, super type Katakuri, you could use Enel, I mean Doflamingo to an extent, because like this still does buff your int characters, which is cool, even though Dofi doesn't particularly buff up this this character, being Jewelry Bonnie, but still, I definitely think that she has a place in PvP. I don't think she's the most broken PvP unit, but I definitely see where people may find places for her. But overall, it's her usability as a sub and a really good support effect is why this character is as good as what she is. Now, of course, as we've said, you probably shouldn't be pulling on this banner. However, this unit is very, very good, and I do expect this unit to probably be pullable on the Luffy, Law, and Kitsugo Fest starting on the 11th of September, 1900 PST time. Mark it down in your calendars. It's going to be crazy. So, with all that being said, that is going to wrap up this video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.